Hi, my name's Kevin Connor. I am the Meat and Seafood Director for Coburn's Incorporated. Today we'll start out with our salmon fillets. These are Norwegian salmon fillets. They're my favorite. They have a rich, buttery flavor. They are top of the line. They're farm raised, grown in the deep fjords of Norway, and then flown to our stores many times daily. We're starting out with olive oil. We put just a dash on each fillet. And then rub that in so it covers the entire fillet. And then once the olive oil is on, wash my hands real quick. We'll take our Four Brothers salmon seasoning and generously apply it. Don't be afraid to apply a little bit of the seasoning. This is one common fear of most people, is they don't know how to season seafood. You season like you would any other meat. Don't be afraid of it. It is awesome. It's awesome. Whether you pan fry it or whether you broil it or cook it on the grill, this Norwegian salmon will be a favorite of your families as well. I know I told you that I'm the meat and seafood guy, but every center of the plate, you need some accompanying orchestra with it. So I like to do potatoes, meat and potatoes kind of fella. So I'm going to show you today how we do our baby potatoes on the grill. I start by drizzling a little bit of olive oil over the top of the potatoes. Do it right in the bag, or you can do it in a bowl. And then again, pepper. I talked about how I like it. Well, you'll see. I really like pepper. Vegetables have a great flavor, but they need to be boosted a little bit, like meat. And then our Montreal seasoning, Four Brothers, is a great addition. So after you add your olive oil and your seasoning, you want to make sure we get your hand inside that bag and move these potatoes around and coat all of the potatoes with a fine coating of the seasoning and the olive oil. And then we'll finish them on the grill, and they'll accompany our protein. Along with the protein, we always need our vegetables. One of my favorites to do on the grill is asparagus. I season this as well. I like to get as much as I can seasoned, so I spread it out on a cookie sheet first. And then I've used olive oil, and I have not used olive oil both, but I think olive oil gives it just a little bit extra coating of the seasoning that we use. So you place the olive oil on, and then if you just roll it on the pan, it'll get the entire asparagus coated. Then once coated, let me rinse my hand real quick. I don't like clicking on the journal. I use our Four Brothers prime rib seasoning on my asparagus. It's a go-to for me. It's one of my favorites. And then I just apply it liberally. Roll it like I did with olive oil. And then lightly apply again, just so I have enough on there. And then pepper. We'll finish this on the grill. This will take about 14 minutes, 12 to 14 minutes. There's a fine line of doneness and not doneness, so you gotta kind of watch it around that 10 to 14 minute area to make sure you pull it at the right time. So the first thing I do is I preheat my grill. I do so by turning on the gas, turning on the knobs and igniting. Once I know that all burners are ignited, I close the cover and I let it heat up. It's important that we retain the heat and we build the heat inside, so close your cover while it's preheating. We close the cover while we cook, and we also close the cover when we're done cooking and burn off those excess oils or marinades that may have gotten on the grill, so it's ready to go the next time as well. So we're gonna start the day out, or the meal out, with potatoes. They take the longest to cook. Again, you wanna time things so everything comes off the grill at the same time. So what we'll do is we'll cook this on tin foil. Otherwise, we don't want the potatoes to fall down in the cracks, and it's just a lot easier for turning the potatoes as well. And I just get a piece of tin foil and I take our pre-seasoned potatoes and I just lay them right on a sheet of tin foil and close the cover. They'll cook They'll take about 35 to 40 minutes. Some may take a little bit longer, some of the bigger ones. So you want to test with a fork before you'll see the doneness. We've had the potatoes on for quite some time. We're going to time this so our asparagus and potatoes and protein is complete at the same time. So our asparagus will take anywhere from 10 to 14 minutes depending on the thickness of the asparagus. We'll place that right on the grill top. And we'll turn this heat down a little bit, cook it a little bit indirectly so it doesn't flare up. We did brush it with olive oil, so it may have a little bit of flare up here and there, but we'll keep it low on that side and high underneath the potatoes. So we started our potatoes about 15 to 20 minutes ago. We know that the asparagus and the salmon takes about the same amount of time. So it takes about 12 to 14, 16 minutes, depending on the thickness of the salmon. So we're gonna place that on the grill at the same time. I place the salmon, I leave the skin on my salmon just because it's a little bit easier to take it off the grill. And I'll show you a little technique. I'll show you two techniques of taking it off the grill. And I like to turn my heat down underneath the salmon as well. It doesn't burn or char when you do that. So I'll turn it down to low. I sometimes even turn it off and cook indirectly with the heat on the outside edges and the salmon in the middle as well. So with all foods, I like to use a meat thermometer to make sure our food is done. With seafood, an internal cooking temp of 145. We're good to go. We'll set the grill aside. And then with seafood, there's two ways you can serve your seafood. One with skin on or skin off. I like to serve mine with skin on, but I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to take the skin off it. If you get right underneath the corner of the fillet, and sometimes your salmon skin will stick, but if you just shoot it back and forth, like so, with your spatula, it will release and you have skinless salmon to plate. Our salmon, potatoes, and asparagus all finished with about a minute of each other, so it's perfect. We plated and we're ready to eat. Again, salmon is an item that you want to eat when it's warm, so you don't need to really let it rest for 20, maybe 2 to 3 minutes rest and you're ready to eat. Let's dig in and have some salmon for supper.